Page 20, we're going to rock around the clock, or rock around the clock, whichever. Key of G major, 1 sharp, all the F's are going to be sharped. 4/4 time, starts out at the beginning in the left hand. Again, this rhythm, now it says uneven eighth, forget that for a minute. When we're learning it, we do even eighths, and we'll put in all the other stuff later. So here, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. And I recommend on these single notes, if you can, alternate between 3 and 1, so it's like on the eighth notes. So it's like 1 and 2, and then it's a 3-1-3. And again, the second measure is 3-1-3. You're going to find later on when it speeds up, being able to alternate like that actually helps to keep you relaxed. You don't get as tight. So at the beginning, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and rest. And 4 and 2 now, and here you're using the wrist. 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and rest. And now the right hand comes in. We're building this chord up 1 note at a time. 2 and 3. If you can think about it, you're welcome to use 1 and 2 on the eighth notes in the right hand. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and the minor thing, but try it out and see what you think. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 4. And then the eighth notes, I recommend if you can do a 5-4-5. 5-4-5. Just to use different notes rather than, when that speeds up, that gets hard. You'll actually find if you can learn to do this after you learn how to do it, it's actually much easier than trying to use the same finger all the time. So think about doing a 5-4-5. And then the third line, 1, 2, 3. And I'm just alternating 5 and 4. And then we start the piece. All of that was introduction. Then the piece starts there on where the reverse repeat sign is. Real slowly. 1, 2, 3. Lift the left hand up. It's rest. 1, 2, and 3, and 4. And then the last line on page 20. Second measure. Left hand plays the G. That's what the LH is for. And then the right hand's going to take over. That's what the RH is for. And move it up so the thumb is playing that. You just move position. The left hand is helping you connect it all and move position. There's other ways we could do it, but we'll do it their way. It's fun. So in the second measure, you're here. Then the left hand comes back down. Reach down with the second finger for the B. Here, so it's... And then lift up before you go on. It's a new phrase. So it's... Top of page 21. 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 1, and 2, and 3, and if you want to, you can use 5-4 on those D's. And I do a 3-1, or I use a thumb anytime another finger doesn't work real well. On it's the second line, first measure, the last 2 notes, the B's. I can do a 3-1 on that, and then I can do a 4. Just so I don't have to use the same finger on both notes, although you're welcome to use the same finger on both notes if you want to. So it's the second line, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. Staccato in the left hand. 1. Rest. Then you repeat back over to page 20 at the reverse repeat sign and do that. Do all that mess again, and then you come back down to the third line of 21. Only instead of the first ending, you've done the first ending once. You only do it once. That's it. You're done. Do the second ending instead. So it's up here. Staccato. They say stretch. Technically it's extend out. Just up an octave. And the left hand, they say stretch. You move up to put fourth finger on that. This is quite common, and I encourage you to get comfortable with this. When you're using 5 and 4 fingers, very common to have a note in between them, and you need to be able to do that. You don't really have to go to 2 notes in between them very often. There you'd use third finger, but a lot of times in chords you'll want to use fourth finger on that. So yeah. And then the last 2 measures, it's 1 and 2, 3, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and then that's tied. That's accented. That's fortissimo. It's a little overkill. If it's fortissimo, you really don't need the accents on piano. Fortissimo takes care of it. It's just very loud. That's all. And that's the basic piece. I mean, overall, it's not that difficult. You got a lot of sharps and flats stuck in there. You have to be careful. And you're moving around a bit, and the rhythm's a bit tricky. And the hard part on this piece comes when you take it up to speed, because this is a fast piece. So and you can hear recordings of this. You don't have to play it as fast as them. You play it your fast, not somebody else's fast. It's like. You do it at your speed. Your fast, not my fast. Melody is, you can, with the, hopefully you can hear the melody. You get that. And then you can put in the moving eighth, the swinging eighth. We swing the eighth notes. Long, short, long, short. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. You feel that, and then stick those in. So let's go over this together very slowly to double check the notes and the rhythms, and we are going to do the repeat on the first and second ending and all that. So I'm going to give us 4 counts, and let's do this together slowly. We're starting out here. The right hand will be here, but you can leave the right hand on your lap until right before you need it. Just make sure it's there before you need to be there. 1, 2, ready and go, and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, 2 and 3 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 3 and 4 and repeat. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2, 3 and 2 and 2 3. Second ending. 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 3 and 4. Tie 2, 3, 4. Hold 2, 3, 4. Off.